Welcome back here on the program here on Sports Radio 810 WHB as we are live at the American Century Championships here in Lake Tahoe, Nevada, one of the most beautiful spots on earth. And of course you can catch all the golf action on the NBC Golf Channel and NBC Sports. And one of the luminaries, big right-hander, Derek Lowe, joins us here in the program. Derek, how are you, sir?
We're doing great. It's my second year playing in this tournament, and everyone looks forward. I mean, it's one of those things you look forward to for 12 months. You leave here on Sunday, you can't wait to come back. But I really look forward to the weekend.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that seems like, well, once you come, you don't quit coming.
Yeah, you get the invites sometime around January, and you're always checking. You're like a kid for Christmas once you get the invitation back. So. Just happy to be here.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. Steve Spurrier said he's been in 24 of the 25, and the only one he missed was because of back surgery. So maybe 25 years from now, we're talking to you, and that's your number, right?
It's funny because bringing up the old ball coach Spurrier, you build those relationships that obviously you didn't have coming into this. So last year we met Steve on the last day, and then sure enough this year, or past year, we went to the South Carolina-Florida game. And those little relationships that you build here that you obviously didn't have coming in here, and so it's great. All the guys are easy to get along with, and a lot of guys you idolize just because they're not in baseball. That Aaron Rodgers of the world is pretty cool to me.
Not a bad Rolodex. You come away with. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, pretty good socializing. Yeah, but there are guys talking about having played around with Derek Lowe and hung out with Derek Lowe. It's got to feel kind of nice that you rub elbows with this crew. You throw a baseball for as long as you did and win as many games as you did, save as many games as you did. That's one of the cool things about your career.
Yeah.
You got one of the more unique, impressive, long-standing pitching careers in the history of baseball. It's kind of nice to be in this club, isn't it?
Yeah, and I thank you for all those years. You've been my agent when I played.
Hey, let me tell you something. I tried to get you to Kansas City on a number of occasions.
Yeah.
All right, but I don't know that at the times that you were available that you were really even going to give a sniff to Kansas City, were you? Things are different now.
Oh, they are. They're that team that every year, I know me personally, that okay, this is going to be the year that they kind of all click, right? Because they have obviously, and at least in my eyes, a lot of talent. Okay. And but to answer your question, I don't think Kansas City was ever really on the radar. I'm not saying I wouldn't have entertained it. It's just I don't think they were.
Did they ever try for you? Because you seem like to me, and this was my lunch. You tell me where I'm an idiot. Because where I'm wrong. How about that? You're too nice a guy. My view on when you would be available at times, and I would say, hey, here's a guy that you know is going to take the ball, that's been in big games, that has experience, so bring that to your young clubhouse, and he's not going to be cheap, but he's also not going to be the most expensive guy out there. To me, you were the perfect guy for the Royals to target and go after. They obviously never made that run, but that was my logic on where you could help that ball go out. Now, is that logic?
I like your logic. Yeah. As I'm sitting here, I enjoyed that.
If nothing else, to get another offer for your agent to use as leverage against somebody else, right?
Exactly.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, and I had Scott Boras. Both times I was a free agent, and he had his one thing, and he's phenomenal. He's very good at just playing the market, but it is funny how when you talk about starting pitchers, that all they do is basically make starts. It's weird because it's almost. It's not looked upon as that great of a thing. You always hear people, when healthy, this guy's got a great upside. Right. And Bronson Arroyo for this year, who's unfortunately looked like he had Tommy John surgery. But we talk about that. It's like all you do is go out there and make it 34 starts. And people like,
Yeah.
But that was just one thing that
they give more credit to a guy who made 17 starts and had a 2.91 ERA than the guy who totaled a 3.71 and made 34 starts 5 years ago.
Exactly, because it's probably the guy that's making 17 stuff-wise is probably more dynamic. He's probably got the higher upside, so to speak.
Well, it's also why he's breaking down probably. He's over-torquing. He's putting more stress and pressure on his arm, and you can't count on that guy. That's great if you're the Dodgers, which I know one of many teams you play for, or the Braves when they're spending big money, or the Red Sox when they're spending money. You can afford to have that guy because you've got a good swing guy to plug in there and get you through, and then hopefully that guy's ready to go come postseason, and you win some postseason games, and everybody's all fired up. It works real good. But the guys who get you there are the guys who take the ball.
Exactly, and when you look at Kansas City to the world, they can't really afford to go make those free agent mistakes.
Right.
Yeah, they're going to spend money, but it's going to be at the right time. You can't, like you said, like maybe in New York in the past, Boston, you can kind of get away with a mistake here and there, and maybe even release the guy, eat the money, go get someone else. But the parity in baseball right now is incredible. I'm from Detroit, so I watch a lot of Detroit baseball, but
which I believe is about the only team.
I was doing all right there for a while, and in the last 2 or 3 years it got kind of ugly. But
it's only 7 teams. I mean, it's not like you can go down and talk to Kenny Lofton. What do you? 22 teams. Like everybody. He had to have been your teammate at least once somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
With the Dodgers.
Okay.
But back to the parity thing, it's incredible how you look at maybe the Oakland A's. They're probably maybe the best team, but you don't know.
Right.
But it is great to see different teams that are pushing their way up to the front, and with an extra wild card this year should be interesting.
And is that just a case of big market teams that got kind of fat and happy and don't know how to spend their money? Because with the better resources, they should still be able to. They would do the Billy Bean thing. I mean, that's what the Red Sox did. You won a championship in the Red Sox, and they took the Billy Bean model and then added money to it. And guess what? It was a club that you're on the 04 team, and it was a club that won and continued to win.
Yeah, it's you said that was their philosophy, and Boston definitely kind of just upped it because they had more money.
Sure.
But to answer your question, I don't know. I mean, you would think again that the higher end clubs are always going to be, or should be, up there just from the money aspect, and you should be able to get the better players. But there's so much money in baseball right now. I think that so many teams are signing guys that maybe they weren't even available to sign guys 5 or 10 years ago. So I think the free agent pool is maybe getting spread out more. It's not just the same 3-4 teams every year. But it's fun to watch. I mean, it's great to not have the same teams every year.
And we got a team that's starting to win a little baseball, and the ownership's pumped the payroll up into the 90 millions, and that certainly helps. We're talking to Derek Lowe here in the program. We mentioned your starts. We give people a little listen here of a run from 02 to 11, 32, 33, 33, 35, 34, 32, 34, 34, 33, 34. That's a lot. In fact, that is
fancy clickety clicks.
Yeah, I'll give you that is 334 starts. You made 2 other appearances in there, probably going into an All-Star game or something. They had you come out and grab an inning or something. 334 starts over that stretch. How many of those 334 were you not feeling so hot that you took the ball in hand?
Yeah, I would say quite a bit. And it's funny because that was the one thing that I enjoyed kind of the latter part of my career is talking to people about those types of things. There's a difference between hurt and discomfort. And people, you have to know the difference. And if you're trying to say, okay, I'm only going to pitch or what have you, I feel right, well then in those days, you got to go back to when you were a kid. It's true, and I think but that was one of the things that I always tried to do throughout my career was work extremely hard in between starts. And I wanted to make sure that, come look myself in the mirror after the game, I did everything I possibly could for that start and do the process all over again. And that was just one of the things that worked for me.
2,031 innings. You went deep into ball games too. You didn't just take the ball and sit down after 3. It's kind of a tough go. You went deep into games. Tell me when we watched James Shields. He was a guy I'm sure you have a great appreciation for the way he takes the ball and how deep he goes into games on a regular basis. You go out there, and how often do you have your whole arsenal?
That is such a great question. You take an average pitcher like myself. I got 34 starts, right?
That's kind. That's modest. You want average, but that's
what I'm
nice
saying is that you're going to have 5 starts a year where you have just all of it. You're going to have 5 starts where you have nothing.
Okay.
What do you do those other 24 starts? That's where the mental aspect and decide how mentally strong are you to basically pitch with your average stuff. And it's now the guys that are winning Cy Youngs, they're probably maybe 10, 12 stars, maybe win 2 or 3 battles. But that's the challenge: is how do I pitch the average stuff? And it takes time, it takes experience, it takes tricking your mind, whatever it is, whatever your cue is. It's not. And again, those are the things.
Is it just? And then you're a modest guy, so you may not say this, but is it just flat out toughness? Mental toughness, physical toughness?
Some of it, and not. Yeah, and find a way again to not make excuses. Oh, I didn't have my breaking ball today. Well, then you got to come up with some other plan. You can't just say I didn't have my breaking ball. You have other pitches. Move around the rubber, do whatever it takes to try to. And those games are always the most rewarding because you're like, okay, that was pretty cool. How I even got into the 7th inning when I just had nothing, where I could have easily just kind of set the root second or third. But that's the challenge.
The games that were the most rewarding for you are probably completely lost on the fans.
Yeah, and it may have been a no decision where you felt so bad at any point the game could kind of unravel, and you were able to mentally stay in it and keep your team in the game. Maybe you give up 5 runs, right, or your team comes back. But those are the games where I always found the most rewarding.
Here you come off the mound and you just gave everything you absolutely have. 6 1/3, 8 hits, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts, 4 earned, and it's a 4-4 game, and there's one fat guy like this behind the dugout, and you're like, you don't understand. That's everything I had was right there. And we're still in this game.
Yeah.
Do the guys on your team know it though?
They do, and I think that's again the big picture of being a good teammate.
Right.
Those guys want, and that's why I always work extremely fast because I want my defense. I'm relying on them to make the majority of the plays out. I just find it always amazing. If you're a ground ball pitcher, why do you take so much time? You need these guys sharp, and you don't show them up. You know, when they make an error, don't do all this stuff with your hands.
Yeah, by the way, since it's radio, the arms went up in the air with the whoa, what the hell type of look. Like, not good, right?
No, and again, those are the type of things where when you have those games that aren't your best, those guys will want to pick you up instead of saying, the heck with this game.
I mentioned that 2000. We're talking to Derek Lowe here in the program. By the way, is your career over?
Oh yeah.
It was just, I just want to make sure. It was just last year you were still throwing it, so I just want to make sure. Okay. Yeah. So early in your past career, when you got traded, you and Jason Varitek got traded over. I mentioned the 04 championship Red Sox, and I think it's something that's forgotten now. Being an old fart like me, I was actually in the media and covering baseball at that time. And the Mariners have been under a lot of fire for never going for it. Okay, that they were a good team, but they just won't do it. And they had a bullpen problem.
Oh yeah.
And this is people. This is a big deal for me. A lot of people this might be lost on. They had a bullpen problem, and so they went out to get Heathcliff Slocum. A nice pitcher. I'm not going to talk about Heathcliff Slocum, but just a nice pitcher. And the Mariners gave up Jason Varitek and you for Heathcliff Slocum. Yeah. And all you did, we talked all this stuff about starts and everything, all you did was go out and end up making an all-star game as a closer. That people don't realize. We talk about what you did as a starter. You made an all-star game as a closer. Before that, and then what was your reaction? You and Varitek had to look at each other and go, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, and there have been a lot of talk and speculation leading up to it, both in AAA, we're in Colorado Springs. And so after the game, they get called on Dave Martin and said Davis got traded to Boston prior. But I think it was one of those things that they definitely wanted Varitek. I was the throw-in, which is fine. And I say these trades happen all the time. The 2 minor league guys from Major League guys, part of the sport. And it just happened to work out, obviously better for us. But Seattle had a lot of young talent. They traded away a lot of it because, like that veteran guy, he's still Slocum, he's going to be that guy. And he said it's not good guy. The trade just worked out better for us.
It just worked out better for Boston.
Yeah.
All right, now I know you got to go play golf, so let me give you my final 4. 4 quickies, just one word.
Yep.
First thing that pops in your head. Best teammate here.
Kevin Millar.
You know what? Guess who else said that?
Kevin Millar.
No, good guess. Tim Wakefield said that also.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. Toughest batter to get out for you personally?
Jose Cruz Jr.
Jose Cruz Jr. Yeah. Okay. All right. Very good. Favorite uniform you wore? Which one did you?
Red Sox.
Best. Okay. You won pretty good. Right? Worst uniform?
Yankees.
Yeah. Okay.
A lot of stripes down there. There's just a lot of stuff going on.
I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. Thanks so much for the time. Have a great weekend. Hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to you again soon.
All right. Thank you very much.